Good morning, students. Welcome back for the class. I hope you all are enjoying the online classes, but at the same time, don't forget to keep the norms as instructed by the government. Don't go outside. Download Arogya Setu app and maintain social distancing in the case you are living for some emergency work. If you recall, in the previous class we have completed inverse T function. Today we are going to start and the topic is algebra. The topic is algebra, one of the familiar topics for you. You all will enjoy this topic. Under this algebra we have two chapters. Number one chapter is matrices, that is chapter number 3 NCERT. And then number 2 we have determinant chapter 4 NCERT. And these both chapters are easy chapter. You will feel good to do the sum. And compulsory questions comes, one for 6 marks, one for 4 marks, one for 1 mark. So altogether the weightage of the chapter CBSE weightage is near about 11 marks for the chapter. So we start today with the matrix. Okay, we start today with the chapter matrix, chapter number 3. So before we start, let us define matrices. So first we give the definition of matrix. So matrix is nothing but it is the arrangement of numbers. In simple words, it is the arrangement of numbers. It is nothing but arrangement of numbers in rows and columns, or arrangement of numbers in horizontal and vertical lines. Arrangement of numbers in rows means it is the horizontal lines, and columns means vertical lines. This is the simple definition of matrix. If you are arranging the numbers in horizontal lines and vertical lines, this arrangement is called matrix. In broader sense, it is defined as an ordered rectangular array of numbers or functions. It is nothing but an ordered rectangular array of numbers or functions, and these numbers or maybe functions which are arranged in rectangular arrays are called elements or the entities of a matrix. These are called elements or entities of a matrix. These elements or entities may be real. Or even may be complex. It depends. Generally we work in our CPSC or the sums which you will observe in your textbooks or in examination which comes with the real numbers or the real functions. Matrices are denoted by capital letters. Matrices are denoted by capital letters like A, B, C and so on, and the elements are denoted by small letters, and the elements are denoted by small letters, or maybe with the numbers, or maybe with the functions, as the case may be. So generally the normal or the standard notations for denoting the elements as Aij under the square bracket, and this name we are giving as a matrix A. So A is the name of the matrix, which is nothing but equal to A of Ij. Here I is indicating the position or the number of rows. It is number of rows of the element, and J is indicating the number of columns of the elements. Indirectly it is indicating, referring the position of the element. It is indicating the position of the element. So if you write a matrix in the simple form, if you write a matrix A is equal to one simple matrix 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a simple matrix. So you can see this is the first row. This is your second row. I already told you horizontal lines, rows, vertical lines, columns. So this is first horizontal lines, second horizontal lines. Similarly, this is first vertical lines. So it is the first column, and similarly this is the second column. So you can see there are two rows in this matrix. There are two rows and two columns. Two rows and two columns. So that means number of elements altogether, number of elements in this matrix is 2 into 2, which is equal to 4. And this 2 into 2 or 2 by 2, this is called order of matrix. So order of matrix is 2 by 2 and the number of elements is 2 into 2, which is equal to 4. That means the total number of rows multiplied with total number of columns will give us the total number of elements in the matrix, and number of rows by number of columns will give us the order of the matrix. So if I am writing, if capital A equal to standard notation Aij m by n, so that means it is indicating the order of this matrix is m by n, which means there are m rows, and n is indicating the number of columns. So there are m rows and n is the number of columns, and total number of element is m into n. Total number of element is m multiplied by n, that is total number of element is m into n. So using this much information, so here total number of elements, if anybody is asking, so total number of elements is m into n. So using this much information, simple information, we can go for the sum which we have in exercise 3.1 of NCERT. So exercise 3.1 of NCERT sum are based only on this much informations. What do you mean by matrix? What are the notations of matrix? What is rows? What is columns? What is order of a matrix? And how many number of elements a matrix can have? So based on this, let us do 1-2 sum, and after this we proceed for the further discussion. So using this information, if we go for the some simple question number 1, suppose if a matrix having 8 elements, altogether 8 elements, what are the possible orders? What are the possible orders it can have? This is one very simple sum from the matrix. For 1 mark, sometime it can be asked. So if you see the sum, so there are 8 elements. So number of elements is 8. Number of elements is equal to 8. And what are the factors of 8? This 8 can be factorized as we can have different combination of factors. It can be 2 by 4. It can be 2 by 4. It can be 4 by 2. It can be 1 by 8, or it can be 8 by 1. So 2 into 4 is 8. 4 into 2 is also 8. 1 into 8 is 8, and 8 into 1 is also 8. So what are the possible orders the matrix can have? So these are the orders of this matrix. So these are the possible orders of this matrix. This is one of the simple question for 1 marks can be asked. You have some more questions in your book in the exercise 3.1. You can go for that. Take one another questions. If you have to form a 3 by 3 matrix, we want to form a 3 by 2 or 3 by 3, whatever it is. So form a 3 by 2 matrix, 3 by 2 matrix, form a 3 by 2 matrix whose elements are given by, form a 3 by 2 matrix whose elements are given by, A of ij is equal to half under the mod 3i minus j. Okay, so this one simple formula is given. It is in the formula like A of ij equal to half into 3i minus j under the mod, and we want to form a 3 by 2 matrix. It may be 3 by 2, 2 by 3, 3 by 3. That is immaterial for us. So this is very simple question. Again, how to proceed for this? So it is given A of ij is half of 3 of I minus j, and you know I and j are indicating the number of rows and the columns. It is indicating the position of the elements. So if you consider A is a matrix of 3 by 2, 3 by 2 means there will be 3 rows and 2 columns. So that means if you write a standard form, it is A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23. This is the standard form or general form of a 3 by 2 matrix having, sorry, one more rows we have to write. So 3 rows. We have to write 3 rows and 2 columns. I wrote 2 rows and 3 columns. So 3 rows. So it is A11, A12, A21, A22, A31, A32. So this is a matrix. First row, second row, third row. So 3 rows and 2 columns. So 3 by 2. So this is a 3 by 2 matrix. We have to form this matrix. The formula is A of ij equal to half 3i minus j. So for A11 means I is 1, j is 1. So we can get A11. Similarly A12, A21 and so on. So if you calculate this, so A11 is nothing but half 3 into 1 minus 1, which is equal to 1. If you find A12, so it is half A12, 3 into 1 minus 2. So it is coming 3 minus 2, 1, so half. If you find A21, it is half 3 into 2 minus 1, so it is 6 minus 1, 5, so 5 by 2. If you find A22, half 3 into 2 minus 2, so 4 by 2, that means 2. If you find A31, half 3 into 3 minus 1, that is 9 minus 1, 8 by 2, that means 4. And if you find A32, half 3 into 2, sorry, 3 into 3 minus 2, 9 minus 2, 7, 7 by 2. Simply what we are doing, we are putting the values. 1 means I is 1, j is 1, we are putting the value, we calculate the values. A12, I is 1, j is 2, A21, I is 2, j is 1, and so on. All this is calculated. That means therefore, thus we can write matrix A is nothing but, we already got the element 1, half, then 5 by 2, then 2, then 4, 7 by 2. Sometimes questions can be asked from here is like that. Find a question can be like this, find A21. So find A21 means second rows and first column. So this is second row and this is the first column, so 5 by 2 and so on. So these are the types of sum we have in our exercise 3.1. If you see the book, then in the textbook in the NCERT, in 3.1 question number 10 of NCERT, which is very important sum, the sum looks very easy, but it is a bit tough sum. Let us discuss that question. It is question number 10 actually from your NCERT book of exercise 3.1. It is question number 10 from exercise 3.1, question number 10. This is very important sum, good questions, good collection of questions for objective questions. And the question is, what is the number of, the question goes like this, what is the, or find the number of, what is the number of possible matrices can be formed using the entry 0 or 1. What is the number of possible 3 by 3? Okay, possible 3 by 3 matrices. What is the number of possible 3 by 3 matrices can be formed using the entry 0 or 1? If you see this sum in your book, they have given the MCQ type and 4 options are given. The options goes like that. It is like 32, it is 64, it is 128, and it is 512, something like that. So these are the options which are given. So for this sum, the sum looks very easy, but actually we have to think here. Like suppose if A is a matrix of 3 by 3, so 3 by 3 means there are 3 rows and 3 columns. There are 3 rows and 3 columns. So this is the 3 by 3 matrix. And we want to put each entry with 2 terms. Each entry to be put with 2 terms, either 0 or 1. We can put either 0 or 1, either 0 or 1, either 0 or 1. That means each element we can put in 2 ways. Each element can be put in how many ways? 2 ways. So total how many ways are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 elements are there. So total number of matrices which can be formed. So total number of matrices which can be formed is 2 to the power 9. Why 2 to the power 9? Because each element can be entered in 2 ways. Either you can put 0 or you can put 1. So we have 9 elements. So altogether it will be 2 to the power 9, which will come 512. So 4 number is the correct answer for this. This is your NCERT exam question number 10. This is one of the most important sum of NCERT. So using this much concept, you can easily finish exercise 3.1. For doing 3.1, you do not require anything. Only this much information is more than enough for doing the sum of exercise 3.1. I hope this much is very clear for every one of you. Now we proceed further, and the topic is types of matrices. We have different types of matrices that we need to discuss. So we have different types of matrices. So types of matrices. The topic is types of matrices. Types of matrices. Types of matrices. Number 1, row matrix. In a very nutshell I will define, because these all are easy terms, you know that. Only we have to know the terms, because while using the operations and doing the sum, we need to identify which type of matrix we are working with, which type of matrix, because without identification it may be a problem for you. So row matrix, as the name indicates, row matrix, so that means it has only one row. There may be infinite number of columns, but number of row is only one. So if you want to write this matrix, so it will go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see there is only one row but 5 columns. So this is a 1 by 5 matrix. The order is 1 by 5. Why? Because the row, there is only one row but there are 5 columns. Number 2, we have column matrix. Again in the same way, column matrix means the matrix having only one column. The matrix having only one column. That means it will go like this. It is maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see there are 5 rows but only one column. Number 3 is that, in other words, it is like that row matrix is nothing but when we are writing the elements in the horizontal way, it is the row matrix, and when we write something in the vertical way, this is horizontal way, this is the vertical way. So when we write something in the horizontal way, this is horizontal, this way we are writing, it is row, this way if you are turning, it is vertical. So it is the row and the column matrix. Number 3, we have 0, 0 or null, 0, or we call it null matrix. So 0 or null matrix means where all the elements are 0, as the name indicates, or sometimes we call it empty matrix also, means nothing is there. So 0 or the null matrix is, we can write like all the elements are 0. This is a 2 by 2 example. You can write for any other example also. So this is a 2 by 2 example of 0 matrix. Number 4, we have a square matrix. A square matrix, as the name indicates, a square, you know, is a geometrical figure in which length is equal to breadth. So similarly, square matrix is a matrix in which number of rows is equal to number of columns. If number of rows is equal to number of columns, we call a square matrix. If A is a matrix having suppose 2 rows and 2 columns, so this is one simple example of a square matrix having 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay. Next we have diagonal matrix. The next one is the diagonal matrix. Next one is diagonal matrix. Diagonal matrix. Diagonal matrix means a matrix in which all elements are 0 except the diagonals. Except the diagonals are called diagonal matrix. A matrix, this is a 3 by 3 matrix. You can see that the diagonal elements are not 0, all other elements are 0. This is called leading diagonals. So this is the diagonal. So this is called diagonal or the leading diagonal. So all elements are 0 but diagonal elements are not 0 is called diagonal matrix. Okay. Next we have identity or unit matrix. Next we have identity or unit matrix. Identity or unit matrix means we denote it by I. I stands for identity or the unit matrix. So square matrix in which diagonal elements is 1. If the diagonal elements is 1 and all other elements are 0 and all other elements are 0, this is the example of 3 by 3 identity matrix. We write by I3, we may write by I2 for 2 by 2 and so on. The value for identity matrix is 1. So this is identity matrix. Number 7 we have scalar matrix. Number 7 we have scalar matrix. Scalar matrix, a matrix in which all elements are 0 but the diagonal elements are not 0, but the diagonal elements are not 0 but not 1 also, because if it is 1 it is identity matrix. They are not 1 not 0 but whatever it will be same, all the diagonal elements are same, like suppose 4 0 0 0 4 0 0 0 4. So this is called scalar matrix. You can see all elements are 0 but diagonal element is not 1, even they are not different. If they are different it is diagonal matrix. If it is 1 it is identity matrix. If it is something like else 4 it is a scalar matrix. That is different issue, that we can convert a scalar matrix into an identity matrix, because we can go for taking common 4 and after that we can convert this into the identity matrix. Okay. Now the next is one topic is that is called equality of matrices. Equality of matrices. Equality of matrices. These are the types of matrices. One last but not the least. Let me finish this thing. Have patience. So equality of matrices. Equality of matrices. Equality of matrices means two matrices A and B. Two matrices A and B are said to be equal. Are said to be equal. Two conditions. If number 1, they have the same order. They must have the same order. They must have same order. And number 2 condition is that the corresponding elements are equal. Corresponding elements are equal. Corresponding elements are equal. Okay. So two matrices are called equal matrices if they are of the same order and their corresponding elements of the first matrix. The element of the first matrix is equal to the corresponding elements of the second matrix. So, for example, suppose if A is a matrix of X, Y, A, B, simple one example, 2 by 2, and one B is a matrix, suppose 1, 2, 3, 4. One simple example I am taking. Based on this, we have questions in the exercise 3.2. So, if these are the two matrices, so they can only be equal if and only if it satisfies two conditions. If they have the same order, so you can see 2 by 2, 2 by 2, both have the same order, and the corresponding elements must be equal. That means the element of the first matrix must equal to the corresponding element of the second. So here we can write X equal to 1, Y equal to 2, A equal to 3 and B equal to 4. If this is possible, then only these two matrices are equal. We can say A and B are equal to each other. In the same way, addition, subtraction of matrices are very easy. If we have two matrices, we can easily add them. The corresponding element to be added, the corresponding element to be subtracted. So these all are very easy thing. Additions of the matrix, as you are doing in the algebra, you have the knowledge of addition, subtraction. Same way, corresponding elements to be added, corresponding element to be subtracted. The negative of a matrix means if we multiply each element by a negative element, by a negative number, so it will become on the negative of a matrix. If A is a matrix, its negative is minus of A. That means each element of A to be multiplied with a negative sign, then we get the negative of a matrix. Okay. So with this information, you can complete exercise 3.2. 3.2, if you see, I cannot do the sum today, so in the next class I will do 1-2 sum. Okay, but you can try otherwise. Key equality of matrix, based on that we have some questions, and then we have some questions based on this, given A is this, B is this, find A plus B, find A minus B. Only we have a specific rule for multiplication of the matrices. We cannot multiply two matrices as we do in our algebra. So for that we meet again in the next class. I hope you all will be fine and stay home, stay safety. In the case of emergency, if you are going outside, please maintain social distancing as per the government norms. Thank you all. Thank you.